Welcome back to episode 5 behind the scenes. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. This is coming so far and I love the way that it's coming together. So just to give you a little bit of behind the scenes about what went on in episode 5. So first thing we did was we constructed the bar inside our cobblestone bar and lounge. And the inspiration behind this really came from all the other modulars, specifically the boutique hotel where they had the front desk, as well as the jazz club, that second floor desk. I just absolutely loved. So I kind of wanted to work that into this a little bit. So I didn't dive too much detail on the bar itself, mainly because it is a historical building. So I want it to be very, very rustic, but that's kind of where the inspiration for that overall bar mentality came from. And from there, then we just had to piece in the remaining bar stools. You know, I just had to think of where do I want people to sit, stand, and all sorts of that. So now in the very end, this may change as well. This is just kind of getting an interior layout, so that way I have an idea of piece count to order. And then moving on from there, you know, one of the more difficult things about this entire build so far has been the design for that front door. I don't know if I wanted to have it on an angle. I didn't know if I wanted to have an interior corner. I didn't know if I wanted to have two doors. You know, I had jazz club opening going on in my head. I had my own thoughts going on. So I really kind of went back and forth, and I wish I would have spent more time on developing this. However, I love the way that it ultimately turns out. You're not going to see it here. This is just a temporary layout. I promise you we eventually change it, but I can't give you too much details yet. That's a later detail. But I do love the way that it's coming along right now. It's really giving a solid design of a historical bar restaurant. I wanted to leave some options on the interior as well of places that I could hang a clock, maybe some artwork, I don't know, just some bar memorabilia, that sort of stuff. And I just wanted to have those options later, especially when I'm physically building this, because this program is still very difficult to kind of maneuver things in that manner. So I wanted to just give myself options, especially this early in the process. Options was the biggest key. And then from there, it went on to finishing that second floor. And just like in the short, you know, I don't have an access point to that second floor yet, at least not on the internal. I'm thinking of ways to do it on the external of the building, but I'm not entirely sure yet. You know, part of me just doesn't care. It's my MOC. I get to pick the details. I get to pick what I want to do. And if I don't want to put a staircase, I don't have to. Originally, I had plans of designing a staircase within that actual bar, but I just didn't love the way it turned out. I thought it took up too much room. I'm not trying to make this so tightly compacted on the inside that you can't move the figures around, or when you reach in, you break stuff, all of that. So I wanted to keep things simple on that ground level. A lot like the historical bars that I've been to in the past, whether it's Philadelphia, New York City, San Antonio, Chicago. Those are very simple mentalities when it comes to the overall layout. So I wanted to keep it like that. But, you know, I did want to have options for later. And I think the idea of having that overhanging on the second floor is going to provide a lot of cool things for us to be able to do. So definitely hope you enjoyed this episode. Stick around and find out how these floors come together and what cool things we decide to do. I promise you won't be mad about it. But that's all for the behind the scenes. Make sure you come back tomorrow and join us. Can't wait to see what we do next. Thanks for joining us. Drop a like, drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe. As always, stay creative. Thanks for watching this episode of Behind the Scenes. We'll see you tomorrow.